and carry on being part of this journey. Some of you will probably recall that almost 2 years ago, we joined hands with Phage to launch the Export Club and subsequently sponsored the inaugural Horticultural Expo. The partnership was born out of a shared belief that Ghana's future is not just about what we extract from the ground, but about what we grow, process, and export to the world. I'm happy to share that since the launch of that Export Club partnership, we've seen tangible impact. We've disbursed over 45 million cedis to Phage members through the Bridge in Agric program with MasterCard. And we've also disbursed an additional 100 million through various credit facilities at the bank. This, we believe, is a significant financial injection and has directly contributed to a boost in foreign exchange inflows from Phage members and also strengthened Ghana's economy. This year's theme is very timely. It's absolutely necessary. We're operating in a world where consumers demand more transparency, where climate change is reshaping how we produce, and where access to global markets increasingly hinges on compliance, traceability, and speed. At Fidelity, we are committed to being more than just a financier. We want to be an enabler, actively partnering with agribusinesses, exporters, and institutions to unlock the immense potential of the horticultural sector. This is a strong belief because we are an indigenous bank, and we believe that we need to be part of the ecosystem in which we operate. Horticulture is one of Ghana's strongest levers for inclusive growth. We believe it creates jobs, especially for women and the youth. Food security is also evident, but most importantly, it's one of the few sectors with the power to generate sustainable foreign exchange for Ghana. We also acknowledge that access to finance is a key barrier. That's why this year we'll be hosting targeted sessions through this expo to take away any issues or demystify any ideas around bank financing for exports. And next month, in collaboration with Phage, we'll also hold a practical masterclass for exporters, where we'll walk exporters through our products, explain the requirements, and help businesses become truly investment ready. However, finance alone isn't enough. We must also build strong ecosystems. This means supporting policies that make cross-border trade more predictable. It means investing in crucial cold chain infrastructure and logistics. And it means embracing sustainability not just as a slogan, but as a real competitive advantage. Ladies and gentlemen, if Ghana is to truly thrive in the global horticultural market, we must think long-term. We must collaborate across sectors. And we must place innovation, sustainability, and digitalization at the very heart of everything we do. I want to close by reaffirming Fidelity Bank's unwavering commitment to this agenda. We are very proud to be standing not just as a bank, but as a partner as Phage progresses. And together, I believe we can grow something truly bigger, a vibrant export-led economy that delivers real value for farmers, businesses, communities, and the nation as a whole. Thank you, and I wish us all a very successful Expo.
The Ghana Armed Forces Band would now give us some music as we prepare to welcome the President. Ladies and gentlemen, shall we please rise as we welcome the President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency, President John Dramani Mahama, with a resounding round of applause. Shall we have the national anthem? Your Excellency, we're honored to have you here today. To deliver the welcome address, I would now like to welcome to the stage Mr. Davis Kobo to give us his address.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Ghana, John Dramani Mahama, the Deputy Minister of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry, the Honorable Minister of Food and Agriculture Rep, our esteemed Chairman, Dr. Kofi Klujesin, our CEOs of GEPA, EXIM, and Fidelity Banks, delegation from our sister African nations, representatives from the 24-hour economy, secretary, captains of the industry, cherished partners from academia and civil society, members of the diplomatic corps, farmers, entrepreneurs, exporters, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, friends of the media, on behalf of the organizers and our partners, I warmly welcome you to the Ghana Horticulture Expo 2025. The Ghana Horticulture Expo 2025 is a grand orchestra of ideas and enterprise, an ensemble of farmers and financiers, processors and policy makers, researchers and retailers, all converging to declare horticulture is not just a crop. It is a central pillar of our nation's future. This expo is anchored on a theme that speaks not only to where we are, but where we are going. Innovate, transform, sustain, driving growth in Ghana's horticulture sector. This theme reflects our national agenda, aligns with continental trade goals after, and reaffirms our commitment to sustainable development goals. But more importantly, this theme is a call to action to all stakeholders to move beyond potential and into purposeful action. Ladies and gentlemen, at FEDG, our mandate has never wavered to advocate for to advance the interests of our Ghanaian exporters. Over the years, we have led missions, hosted forums, established platforms, and partnered with global institutions to lift Ghana's agri-export visibility. The export is a fruit of that labor. The first edition in 2024 was a seed sown in faith. This second edition, His Excellency, in scope, scale, and sophistication, is the beginning of a harvest of ideas, technologies, investments, and partnerships that will redefine how the world sees Ghana's green economy. We are not just here to sell fruit and vegetables. We are here to build futures. Ghana sits on an agroecological gold mine, fertile soils, diverse microclimates, abundant rainfall, and over 60% of our labor force engaged in agriculture. Yet, the average yield per hectare of mangoes, pineapples, coconut vegetables, and herbs remain below benchmarks. Post-harvest losses still account for over 30% of produce due to poor infrastructure and fragmented value chains. Global horticulture, a market value of $320 billion plus by 2030, is crying out for premium, traceable, ethically sourced tropical products from Ghana. We must ask ourselves, why not Ghana and why not now? And that is why this year Horticulture Expo practical tools for transformation, from drip irrigation system to solar-powered cold storage, from blockchain traceability to financing models for youth agribusiness-led. These are just innovations. These are just not innovations, they are necessities. Your Excellency, distinguished guests, one of our most forward-looking economic propositions of our time is the 24-hour economy. And I say this with deep conviction. If there is any sector primed to benefit from this policy, it is horticulture. Imagine a Ghana where irrigation pumps hum through the night, nurturing crops while we sleep. Agro-processing plants run second and third shifts, turning fresh produce into juices and dry fruits for export. Refrigerating trucks move goods from farm gates to port terminals at 2 a.m., beating traffic and preserving freshness. Cargo terminals and inspection decks operate round the clock, facilitating seamless exports. Digital platforms enable real-time trade across time zones, matching Ghanaian produce with buyers across the globe. This is not a fantasy, His Excellency. It is a vision within reach. If we are bold enough to coordinate policy, energy access, security, labor structures, and technology, a 24-hour economy, a 24-hour agribusiness economy will not only increase output, it will decongest operations, create high-quality jobs, and radically enhance our competitiveness on the global stage. We at FAGE are ready to work with government, banks, unions, logistics players, and tech innovators to pilot, model, and scale this transition from the soil to the shelf 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Ladies and gentlemen, when the nation city depreciates, it is not just the currency problem, it is productivity problem. It is a trade imbalance whose solution is not to print more money, but to export more value. That is why this Expo and the larger after vision must become our collective response. And the after and through strategic bridges to Asia, the Middle East, and the Western world, we must position Ghana as a premium origin for high-value horticulture exports. But beyond figures and forecasts, allow me to bring this closer to you, His Excellency. The Expo is for the woman farmer in Bekum, who prays for better roads to move her watermelons. It is for the young graduate in Pube, who dreams not of living in town but exporting shea butter to to Germany. It is for the entrepreneur in Fatima who wants a solar dry tomato but lacks capital. It is for 18-year-old girl in Keta who wants to be a horticulturist, not because she has land, but because she has vision. His Excellency the President, we also wish to commend your bold intervention in taking steps to reform Bupe Share North Processing Factory, a movement that gives renewed hope to thousands of women across the 5 northern regions. According to GEPA, Share is now Ghana's 10th highest foreign exchange earner, and we are proud to say that the biggest Share North Processing Factory in West Africa, not for growth, is right here in Ghana in Tamale. And it's already exporting 23,000 metric tons of high-grade share butter to Sweden annually. This is a shining example of how agro-industrialization, when backed by vision and investment, transforms not just exports, but entire communities. It is a blueprint we must replicate across our horticulture zones. When we talk of innovation, transformation, and sustainability, we are not just shaping policies. We are shaping lives. We are shaping lives, and we are shaping legacies. And to every farmer and processor, the youth advocate and innovator in this room, you are the heartbeat of this expo. As I conclude, let's leave this expo not with only brochures and business cards, but with resolve. Let us live with shared understanding that this moment must birth a movement to turn Ghana's growing potential into golden opportunity, a movement to grow not just crops, but capacity, to harvest not just produce, but prosperity. Let's plan with purpose, let's process with pride, let's export with excellence. Let's build a 24-hour economy where no idea sleeps, no produce rots, and no dreams is left behind. For the banks, may this expo remind you that banking shouldn't be about clutching overpriced collateral just like a trophy, or asking for one's great-grandfather's funeral certificate before approving a loan. It is time to move beyond the vault mentality. Banking must be about vision, growing with businesses, nurturing the seed, and walking the journey. After all, Rome wasn't built in a day. It took bricks, dreams, patience, and a bit of divine grace. So let's bank on ideas, not assets. His Excellency, we want to take this opportunity to thank the Chief of Staff for keeping faith with us by working behind the scene to promote exports through the Director of Presidential Initiative in Agriculture and Exim Bank. And also want to thank Mr. Sylvester Mensah, the CEO of Exim, for redefining export finance. To the CEO of GEPA, we thank you for bringing hope into the exports business with your dynamic strategic approach to unlocking Ghana's export potential. Finally, we should sincerely thank His Excellency for graciously responding to our request by facilitating a meeting with the Chief Executives of GEPA and Exim Bank. We are happy to announce that the first intervention out of the 8th value chain, which is being worked on through the Chief of Staff's office in collaboration with the Presidential Initiatives in Agriculture. The rest will follow soon, His Excellency, and we are assuring you of our 5 billion returns in the next 2 years. A timely intervention is a testament to His Excellency's unwavering commitment to promoting Ghana's export sector and empowering private sector-led growth. Once again, I want to welcome you to the 2025 Expo. May God bless us all. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Davis Kobo, President of the Associations of Ghanaian Exporters. We would now welcome Mr. Francis Kojo Kwarteng Arthur, Esquire, to deliver his address.
Thank you. Your Excellency, President John Dramani Mahama, Honorable Julius Debra, the Chief of Staff, Mr. Chairman, Dr. Kofi Klujesson, Representative for the Minister, Food and Agriculture, Honorable Deputy Minister for Trade, Agribusiness and Industry, Honorable Volta Regional Minister, Mr. James Kumu, CEO of Ghana Exim Bank, Mr. Sylvester Mensah, Nananom traditional leaders present, representative of the German Ambassador, Daniel Boehm, Your Excellencies, members of the Diplomatic Corps, President of the Federation of Associations of Ghanaian Exporters. It is a distinct honor for me to welcome you all to the official opening of the 2025 Horticulture Expo. On behalf of the Ghana Export Promotion Authority, I am delighted to acknowledge the invaluable collaboration with the Federation of Associations of Ghanaian Exporters, GIZ, GISA, Fidelity Bank, Exim Bank, Gezem Bank, and other key partners in making this event a reality. Today marks a proud moment for the Ghana Export Promotion Authority as we come together to spotlight Ghana's horticultural potential. This expo positions Ghana as a leading hub for horticultural excellence in Africa. Indeed, Ghana is steadily establishing itself as on the global stage for high-quality horticultural products and exports. Allow me to extend my deepest gratitude to all of you for being part of this important occasion. Your Excellency, your presence here today is a strong testament to the government's unwavering and avowed commitment to the rapid growth of the export sector. It is for this reason that you have taken a personal interest to superintend over the activities of the Accelerated Export Development Council. Your Excellency, the Ghana Export Promotion Authority assures you of its total support and availability to execute any duty for the realization of your dream of rapid economic development in Ghana. Indeed, our partnership with the Federation of Associations of Ghanaian Exporters and other key stakeholders in the organization of this major international expo is a testament of our collective efforts in pursuing the accelerated export development agenda of your government. Distinguished guests, this expo represents more than an exhibition of agricultural products. It reflects our shared vision for a sustainable, innovative, and competitive horticultural sector that contributes meaningfully to the Ghana's Accelerated Export Development Program of His Excellency, the President. The integration of horticulture into our National Exports Development Plan is a comprehensive approach, addressing not only production and quality, but also infrastructure and market access, all critical to achieving the government's agenda of accelerated export growth. This year's theme, Innovate, Transform, Sustain, driving maximum value in Ghana's horticultural sector, captures our collective commitment to value creation across the entire horticultural chain value. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, the Ghana Export Promotion Authority remains committed to supporting the growth of the sector through targeted initiatives like distribution of disease-tolerant coconut seedlings to farmers, provision of pineapple suckers and high-yielding vegetable seeds, capacity building through the Ghana Export School, supporting the Ghana horticultural products in major international trade fairs such as Food Logistica, Mark Foods, and Food Attraction, the Youth in Export Program, and other key activities. Our aim is to ensure that the hard work of our farmers translates into production of high-quality produce to meet international standards, thereby generating more export revenues for the country. I am pleased to share that Ghana's participation in Food Logistica 2025 in Berlin resulted in over $225 million in export orders. Among the standout achievements were the execution of a mango export order from Morocco, whereby 52 trucks with a capacity of carrying 26 metric tons of fruits came to Ghana to load fresh mangoes all the way to Morocco. Additionally, Ghana received a total order for shipment of yam to Europe valued at $168 million. These orders are currently being executed by Fitch. Thank you. In 2024, Ghana recorded non-traditional export revenues of $3.83 billion, with the agricultural subsector contribution rising from 12.53% in 2023 to 13.48% in 2024. Agricultural export earnings increased from $494.12 million in 2023 to $515.42 million in 2024, reflecting a 4.31% growth. This progress underscores the growing importance of agriculture in our export portfolio. Over the next 3 days, this expo will serve as a vital platform for knowledge exchange, networking, and innovation. From advanced farming techniques to smart technologies, participants will experience the full scope of Ghana's Horticulture Expo. Your Excellency, the President, the Honorable Chief of Staff, honorable members, distinguished guests, the horticultural sector holds immense promise, and as a driver of economic diversification, job creation, and foreign exchange earnings. Your Excellency, the Ghana Export Promotion Authority is collaborating with the Federation of Association of Ghanaian Exporters and other stakeholders to roll out the Youth in Export Program, targeting mainly the youth in communities across the country, thereby reducing streetism in the Ghanaian economy. Yet, this potential can only be fully realized through strategic partnerships between government, the private sector, research institutions, and development partners. I am pleased to note that several partnerships will be formalized during this expo, making a new era in the sector's growth. Mr. Chairman, I take this opportunity to express my heartfelt appreciation to His Excellency the President for making time out of his busy schedule to join us this morning. I also thank our various ministers, collaborators, and indeed our stakeholders for their support and interest in the Horti Expo 2025. It is my expectation that exhibitors and all the key stakeholders herein gathered will take full advantage of this 3-day event to maximize the benefits for all. Thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kojo Kwarteng Arthur, Chief Executive Officer of GEPA. Next on our agenda will be a presentation on global horticulture trends. But before that, I would like to acknowledge the kind organizations that have supported FAGE in making this Horticulture Expo a reality. I'd like to acknowledge GEPA, the Ghana Export Promotion Authority. I'd like to acknowledge the Ghana Exim Bank, Fidelity Bank, Joy Business, GIZ, AgroCity, AgroMonti, Gersel, and last but not the least, and also importantly, FAGE. We shall now welcome Mr. Michael Koto to come to the stage and lead the presentation on global horticulture trends. Please put your hands together for Mr.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, Mr. President, Honorable Ministers of State, Chief of Staff, all protocol duly observed. My name is Michael Koto. I'm Managing Partner at Confidence. We're Strategy and Management Consulting Practice headquartered in Ghana. It's a real privilege to be given the stage to make this presentation, and I'll try to make it pretty quick. The original theme that I was asked to speak to was global horticultural trends and how Ghana can take advantage. But in light of His Excellency's bold vision for our country, I decided to reframe the theme to resetting Ghana's horticulture for global opportunities. So the theme will be slightly different, but I'm speaking to the same issues. I hope that the slides are moving and you can follow. So from a global standpoint, the really four main trends to look out for now, as far as horticulture is concerned. The first one is that the market is really looking out for healthy organic products. So that's a big deal now. Retailers are chasing these because apart from they're being healthier, they also command higher premiums on the market. So that's a big trend now. The second one is that buyers are emphasizing traceability and certification. And this used to be a market, entry barrier, but it has now become a selling point. So if you can show that your product is traceable all the way from the farm to the shelves, that's a selling point. You command more premium. The third one is carbon intensity of production. So increasingly across the globe, global markets are putting a lot of emphasis on low carbon production. And again, the advantage here is that if you can do that, you're able to attract sustainable financing. So again, it used to be a convenient thing that some producers used to do, but now it comes with this additional advantage. The fourth big trend is what we call ready-to-eat value addition. So you can produce the whole raw fruit and export, but now buyers are prioritizing convenience. So products that have had a lot of value addition, especially those that have been pre-packaged for ready-to-eat, whether it's puree or cut slices of fruits, these are beginning, if you look at the market trends, these are beginning to command more demand. Because people, buyers, consumers are looking for greater convenience. So, in trying to take advantage of global opportunities, there should be a backdrop for us. Now, there's a slide on the screen that shows some of our top horticultural exports over the past 5 years. And you'll see products here that are not your typical horticulture, but they are horticultural crops. Now, we're doing really well, but if you pay particular attention to this chart, what it tells us is that our exports have somewhat flatlined. So if you look at the trends, we're not necessarily declining. We're still growing in many of these areas. But we are flatlining because if you see the trend line, we're either stagnating in some areas, we're growing marginally in some areas where we could probably be quadrupling output and exports. We're not necessarily doing that. So this is a cautionary tale. We exist in a competitive global environment, and with demand going up globally, Asian markets coming in, there's diversification of market opportunities. We should be able to double and quadruple some of our exports. So Typically at Confidence, when we see trends like this, we try to take a sectoral view to understand what's going on. And the analytical frames that we typically use is a tripod approach that looks at what policy is doing, what capital is doing, and what industry is doing. We always try to look at what's going on in a particular sector using these three frames. And I'm not going to go into all the details of what the challenges are across these three important pillars of our horticultural sector, because most of you are industry people, and we've got our policy people in the room, and you know exactly what these challenges are. Policy coordination is a challenge. Our lenders and capital providers are risk averse. They don't want to lend to our agric. And our industry is still very small scale, smallholder driven, rain fed. So we've really got a challenge. If we need to be able to take advantage of these global opportunities, there has to be a pivot. Now, I'm going to show you the story of a farm in South Africa called ZZ2 Farms. ZZ2 Farms, I'm sure some of you may be aware of them. The story of this farm, which produces tomatoes, is that on a cultivated 3,000 hectares, ZZ2 Farms alone meets 50% of all of the tomato demand of South Africa. Just one farm, 50% of all of South Africa's tomatoes. And the difference, why this is possible, is because they produce 12 months a year, 24/7. This is a 24-hour farm. That's the only reason they are able to do this. In the case of Ghana, as I did mention initially, our challenges are smallholderism, and those farmers and investors who are trying to go large scale often run into a lot of challenges. So, what are the lessons we can pick from the likes of South Africa in terms of how they coordinate policy, capital provision, and industry innovation to push our industry forward? There are a couple of case studies. I will skip this because we don't have a lot of time. Next slide. Next slide. So, the real challenges of our sector, if you look at irrigation, for example, only 3% of arable land in Ghana is irrigated. We know of all the challenges with access to land. We know of the challenges with access to capital. Non-performing ratios in our banking sector for agri sector tend to be pretty high. So our banks don't like lending to our agricultural sector. But how do we take advantage of global opportunities when agri is supposed to be a backbone of our economy, and we can't provide the capital that our sector needs? So I'm going to make three proposals across each of the three pillars: policy, capital, and industry. What we can do to take advantage of global opportunities. The first one, on the policy front, I think that there might be a need to set up a dedicated fund for the sector. And one way we could fund it is to use levies that are collected on agri imports. Not inputs, but agri products that are imported into the country. And we may not need to introduce new levies, because there are levies that are being collected already on many of the food products and agri products that are imported. We might want to earmark some of these revenues into a dedicated agricultural fund, which can be used to support the sector. The second one is that we've got crop hubs all over the country that produce horticultural crops. There might be a need for us to, whether through legislation or policy, now declare them as FOBA special horticultural economic zones. And with that would come a lot of shared infrastructure and incentives. In the Provo areas, we know there's a mango hub. In the Palugu areas, we know there's a tomato hub. And there are many similar hubs that are emerging that are not necessarily yet that mature. But if we can dedicate these as horticultural special economic zones and provide all the shared infrastructure, transportation, affordable power, pack houses and cold chain, irrigation support, we can trigger a transformation in the sector. We can transform the sector. And if we link this to the 24-hour economy program, then it's even better. My brother Davies gave a very vivid picture of what a 24-hour economy could look like in the horticultural sector. So this is a flagship that I believe the government is already thinking about, and it would be great for us to move full scale. And the capital provision, I think that there might be a need for a joint intervention by GESAL, DBG, Exim Bank, and the Association of Banks. The whole idea is that GESAL and a couple of banks have managed to pilot low-risk agricultural lending. But the lessons are not being necessarily shared across the sector. So while NPLs in the typical banking sector for agri are still very high, above the NPLs for other sectors, it's unusually high for agri. But we know that GESAL has piloted with guarantee programs with non-performing loan ratios that are below 5%. We need to mainstream these lessons across the board. What we need is joint coordinated intervention by these players so that we can have at every bank a dedicated agricultural finance desk. And what we could do with the money that we collect from the levies on agri imports into the agri fund, we shouldn't use these to give to farmers directly. What we could do is to channel this through the banking system. So that money could be used to provide guarantees for agricultural loan portfolios. It could also be used to subsidize interest rates to make lending to agri more sustainable. That way, we build the capacity of the financial sector to become comfortable. Once we de-risk the sector, they will take over and start providing what is required. In industry, I would say we need discipline and professionalism. Discipline in terms of how we manage our businesses, our agribusinesses, and professionalism. But even more important, we need partnerships. We need partnerships because we have a lot of small-scale producers, small to medium-scale producers. We need industry to come together and form partnerships because that's the only way we can scale. We need partnerships of rivals in our horticultural sector. The second level of partnership we need is between the industry associations and government, so that it's not just individual companies going to government to do partnerships. There's FAGE, there's all the other agricultural, horticultural sector industry associations. If they can come together and go into partnerships with government, they carry all their members along. And finally, we need to build our champions in the sector. We need to build our local champions in the sector. And to be able to do that, we need to be intentional about it. Intentionality is what I want to leave us with, so that we can measure progress, we can be targeted, we can build champions, and the champions are the ones that will take us global. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you very much, Mr. Michael Koto, for that insightful presentation. Indeed, intentionality is what we need to aim at. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is now my honor and privilege to invite to this podium a statesman whose vision for Ghana's agricultural transformation inspires national pride and international confidence. Under his leadership, we've seen bold policies, strategies, and a clear vision for the advancement of agribusiness and a renewed commitment to positioning Ghana as a major exporter of high-value horticultural produce. His presence here today signals that horticulture transcends Ghana's development story. His presence amplifies the fact that agriculture is central to it. With a deep-seated sense of respect and national pride, I invite you all, ladies and gentlemen, as protocol demands, to rise and help me to welcome the President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency, President John Dramani Mahama.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Please be seated. Dr. Prince Kofi Klugeson, Chairman for the opening ceremony of the Ghana Horticultural Expo 2025. Your Excellencies, Ambassadors and High Commissioners, members of the Council of Trade, our chiefs and queen mothers, the Chief of Staff, Ministers of State, Members of Parliament, all Chief Executive Officers and Government appointees, the President, Federation of Association of Ghanaian Exporters, FAGE, and all members of FAGE, our development partners, sponsors of this expo, heads of security services, teachers, my dear children, students who have joined us, and friends from the media, ladies and gentlemen. It's a privilege for me to join you at the opening of the Ghana Horticultural Expo 2025, a landmark event that speaks to the promise of our land, the ingenuity of our people, and the power of shared purpose. Today we gather not just to celebrate horticulture, but to declare that Ghana is ready to grow, export, and lead Africa's agricultural transformation. Let me first commend the organizers of this expo, notably the Federation of Associations of Ghanaian Exporters, FAGE, the Ministry of Food and Agriculture, and Dr. Prince Kofi Klugeson's visionary leadership. Your lifelong dedication to youth empowerment, technology, and innovation continues to light our way forward. Let me also salute individuals like Davis, my friend Davis Koto, who gave us a very comprehensive overview of the export sector. Your advocacy for youth involvement, innovation, and exports has helped shape the national conversation. Today's expo reflects the advocacy, and our government's response is anchored in action and commitment. I wish to assure you, you have my fullest support. As president, I firmly believe that the most urgent, inclusive, and transformative development must begin from the ground. Literally from the farms, the greenhouses, the backyard gardens across Ghana. We must engineer an economic renewal that is productive, equitable, and sustainable. Agriculture, especially horticulture, is not an afterthought. It is central to our vision of national economic transformation and reconstruction. With year-round sunshine, fertile soils, waters, and hard-working farmers, Ghana is already a global leader in yam exports and a growing force in tropical fruits and vegetables. But potential must give way to performance. Hope must yield results. We must move from smallholder survival to value addition, international competitiveness, and youth-driven enterprise. If you've traveled across this country from Keita to Komenda, from Techiman to Tamale, you will have seen what I've seen. That is the silent labor of our farmers, cooperatives, our mothers hunched over tomato beds, and young people innovating with very little support. Yet, many cannot access cold storage or find fair markets, and a single failed season can erase many years of effort. This is not merely a technical challenge, it is a moral imperative. And we must ask ourselves, can a nation prosper if the very hands that feed it remain its most neglected? Our answer today through this expo and our policies is a resounding no. In line with this renewed commitment, I'm pleased to reaffirm our government's flagship program, Feed Ghana, from 2025 to 2028, which operationalizes the broader agriculture for economic transformation agenda. Feed Ghana is a bold response to rural unemployment, food insecurity, and overdependence on imports. For the horticultural sector, this includes the Vegetable Development Project, which has been christened Yeridua, we're planting, to scale greenhouse cultivation and institutional competitive farming. The second is smart agriculture and farmer support centers to deliver mechanization services to farmers, irrigation, climate smart advisory, and digital extension services. The third is agri-industrial zones and cold chain infrastructure to reduce post-harvest losses and enhance export readiness. And the fourth is agribusiness youth clinics to equip the next generation of our young people with the skills, capital, and mentorship for agribusiness success. These interventions are not promises, they are policy realities designed to make Ghana's horticulture investment ready, inclusive, and globally competitive. We're also implementing a game-changing strategy, the 24-Hour Economy Initiative, to unlock Ghana's productive potential across all sectors. And I'm pleased to announce that on July 1st, the 24-Hour Initiative policy will be ready to go into operation. This policy will provide the framework for continuous production, processing, and logistics in horticulture. It allows perishable goods like pineapples, mangoes, chilies, and herbs to move swiftly from the field to ports to international shelves, minimizing losses and maximizing value. And I'm pleased to inform you that the Ministry of Trade and Agribusiness and Industry and the Ministry of Transport are working together with the Ghana Revenue Authority, the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, the Ghana Shippers Council, and other stakeholders to soon declare the Tema and Takoradi ports as 24-hour ports. It will not only be about working longer hours, it will be about building the infrastructure, the energy, the security, the transport, and the digital platforms that enable round-the-clock agro-industrial activity. It is a strategy of hope rooted in efficiency and scale. To stabilize our currency, we must earn more foreign exchange. And one of the surest ways is to expand high-value agricultural exports. We are on that path boldly and deliberately, and we shall work together with our exporters to be able to achieve this. Ghana exports fresh produce to Europe, the Middle East, and Asia. And in 2024, our non-traditional exports exceeded $3.5 billion, with horticulture at the forefront. Our target is to exceed $10 billion by the year 2030, and this is possible. To do this, we must shift from aid to trade and from dependence to dominance in the export value chain. Under the African Continental Free Trade Area, we have a single market of 1.4 billion people. We must not only trade more, but also produce more, and Ghana must lead in this effort. Imagine if Liberia grew fresh gingers, Ghana processed these gingers, and Kenya packaged them, and we exported it as one brand to Dubai. This is the African economic ecosystem we must build: integrated, efficient, and product self-reliant. Today, I'm issuing a clear call to our development partners: invest with us in infrastructure, agri-tech, and skills, not as donors, but as partners. To our financial institutions, I say, be bold, de-risk this sector, and support agribusiness startups with real capital. Ghana Exim Bank particularly must be a catalyst for growth of the export sector. To our youth and women, agriculture is not a fallback occupation, but it is an occupation of choice. Own it, live it, and thrive in it. To our private sector, I say invest with vision, align with the government to scale processing, certification, and export capacity. So let us move from conferences to cold chains. Let us move from words to warehouses. And let us move from policies to productivity. The time is now. We're not starting from zero. We're building on the dreams of generations. In 1957, our President, Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, reminded us, he said, "Seek ye first the political kingdom." And today I say to our exporters and to our nation, seek ye first the productive economy. Let us grow Ghana one fruit, one field, and future at a time. To our farmers, you are the backbone of this renewal. To our youth, you are the heartbeat of our ambition. And to the world, Ghana is open for business, green, export ready, and growing with purpose. With this hope, confidence, and renewed spirit of partnership, I have the privilege to declare the Ghana Horticulture Expo 2025 officially opened. May God bless Page, may God bless our farmers, and may God bless our homeland Ghana. Thank you very much.
I feel like I'm not hearing any applause at all. Let's intensify that. Your Excellency, we are truly grateful. We shall now have the national anthem, followed by photos with His Excellency. Mr. Chairman, I'd like to take this opportunity to invite all our dignitaries forward. I'd like to acknowledge the presence of the Ambassador of Burkina Faso, the Executive Director of the Institute of Directors, and his fellow directors, as well as the Deputy CEOs of Exim and Fidelity Bank. Shall we have our dignitaries up front for a photo op, please? Kindly converge in the front and you'll be directed as to your standing positions. Nime, Name, Nananum, thank you for being here today.
Come on. Oh, this is... All right, thank you, sir.
All right, thank you. So let's go. We'll go this way.
As I'm talking to you, President will go to the exhibition center to go and take a look at what is happening at the exhibition center. So we are going there with the President to go and experience what is happening at the exhibition center. So bear with me. Let's move to the exhibition center. The President is going to the exhibition center to go and witness, to go and experience what is happening at the exhibition center. So you see, everybody is getting ready to. So this is the exhibition center. As I'm talking to you, the President is coming to come and witness what is happening over at the exhibition center.
So you can stand it.
Let's go back.
So she's on the different table. Very soon, President will get here.
Sorry for the inconvenience.
Yes, as I'm talking to you, very soon, President will get here. As I'm talking to you, Heritage Culture, Ghana Heritage Culture is 2025 launch. As I'm talking to you, the President is coming. He's coming to take the location.
Where's Sylvester? Aiko. Excellent. How are you? Well done. Exporters and family. Yes. Yeah. Okay, these are all people that you are financing.
Under the umbrella of the Expo.
Okay.
And then we do these nice snacks, cashew, cocoa as well.
Okay. Do they export these?
Currently, we are not exporting.
Okay,
We are
they are
working towards
for the
that.
local market. Okay. No, it's
We
well
do
packaged.
branded chocolate.
I like the packaging there.
And we wish you
Happy Father's Day. I'll take this one.
Okay, thank you.
Open up.
Yo, you're not sure. Whoa, calm down, calm down.
No, you come here, but Eric did as well. That's fine.
Let's move back. Okay. Let's start moving back. Come back. Back.
The working president. Senegal.
Yeah, we have the
Simino Kase, the president of Ghana, John Dramani Mahama, Egusa Oye exhibition. Oh, Agro Business Forum.
forward your presentation to me and call me. I'll go back. I'll go back.
You know, the president of Ghana, John Dramani Mahama, why exhibition now? We take the first step and I said, or call on here, call me. You know, Julius Debrasso, and I also take another second leader, also all call. You know, before bad dignitaries, before and Omugusua, almost take personally one. You better go inside. I enjoy a kind of say exhibition costume inside before I say a bit jam and I say before I say bit jar young cook over this is the Ghana Heritage Portrait.
whatever fruit and vegetable you want. We also need to bring out some. We have about 120 outlets that we work with. So whatever yes, it has.
So if someone wants to sell what they grow,
yes.
I see. It's a fruit?
No, it's a vegetable.
I haven't seen it before.
No, it's local. Yeah, everything here is local. This one we
So the exhibition is ongoing. A lot of stands. Sorry, a lot of stands are here. A lot of stands. They have the fresh juice and things. When you come, have jam. Yes. I haven't seen it.
I want to know this business. Where is your business? Where can we find you? Any details to share? Yes, we have details. And then let me can. Oh yes, let me write.
The way you are looking at it, you like it. You want to take it.
Oh, you could give me why?
No. Friday. To come on Friday, okay?
Okay.
When you come inside some.
We have yam powder over here. It seems different for me. I need to ask this woman how we managed to do have white yam. We have the yam powder over here. We get close to the woman and ask them just two questions about this yam powder. How it just looks like over here.
Yeah, we have everything. We have everything. Farmers and exporters.
So this is your personal number?
No, that's our president.
Yes.
And
my personal number too.
What's your number?
Okay, nice meeting you. Nice meeting you too. Oh yes,
have the fresh. Also, when you come to the stand, you can get the fresh mango and like cassava also for different other aspects. You can get also. So when you get to the different stands, you see different farms with the people are on the exhibition. People are there. People are going to the exhibition center and making see how it looks over here a lot. So the exhibition center is very huge. It's different And yeah, the flavor also changed as well. It's a different exhibition center. Then we have the Agro Farm exhibition also here, whereby they sell the chemicals and the things used to do farming. Yes. So this center is very long and huge. It's a 3 days program over here. Let's go inside and go and see what is happening inside after.
That's what I was waiting
People to supply
currently we are on the just family, just launched the just family. Just family, it's an AI event with farm management where commercial farms, whether you are already or now just sign in, depending on the location of your farm, future farm location. First of all, let's use you and based on that, recommendation on the specific crops that would do well for that
where you are research ginger, fenced areas, they're really well ginger production and all that. So you carve a land in a fenced area, you can make it cheap. It's just an example of trying to side and you want to go into agriculture, any people would advise